we have to learn by some hard lessons at times. Because again, in the world of masculine, nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about the societal, I'm not just talking about the culture. I'm talking about life itself. I'm talking about Mother Nature. I'm talking about universal laws. We have to deal with and come to grasp with our humanity, with our humility. We have to be humbled at the risks at stake. That's why everything that masculine does in the world of man, in the world of masculine, requires courage, because there is risk. That means that there are sacrifices, there are losses. In this scene, we learn. Masculine learns lessons through sacrifice, through the experience of sacrifice and losses. So I just want to underline that this scene breaks it down, because as a grown ass man, the lessons that I've learned that make me the man I am today, Timmy didn't make it. You know, sometimes there's some journeys, sometimes there's some adventures, sometimes there's some exploration into finding yourself, into doing the best that you can, into living your best life and honoring yourself. That question, who am I? Well, life is going to give you those fucking tests. It helps you understand the psychology of masculine, what we are truly up against and challenged throughout our life. And it's just the way of, we have to live it. We have to experience it. We have to go through these losses. It's inevitable. We can't be made. We are built from nothing. And there's a payoff. That is truly what that sacrifice is. And I say this from the bottom of my heart, to all the men out there. If you haven't experienced these losses yet, I assert you're not yet the grown-ass man that you will be one day, because it is par from the course in some way, shape, or form. Timmy ain't gonna make it. The happy, childlike, innocence and purity that everything's gonna work out, everything's gonna be in your favor, all that in the world of the boy, the divine feminine that wants you to feel good. Just look for the best. Truth be told, you can't look for the best. Sometimes you have to make the best. When you lose something, when you sacrifice something to honor who you are, to make choices and decisions and actions that there is no other way, there are no other options, it's going to take courage to proceed, period, and you may not make it out the same way you went in. Without further ado, let's get it.
Astanos! My son!
Pride in his eyes.
Astanos! No!
Day wears on. We lose few, but each felled is a friend, or dearest blood. And upon seeing the headless body of his own young son, the captain breaks rank. He goes wild, blood drunk.
Never seen him even have his soldiers with him. He's like, fuck it. Principles, fuck all. That's some grown man shit. Real talk.
Captain's cries of pain at the loss of his son are more frightening to the enemy than the deepest battle drums. It takes 3 men to restrain him and bring him back to our own. The day is ours. No songs are sung.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's, if you can't tell, this scene is talking to me, because the sacrifice, the things that we take on as men, and in the face of sometimes, our village, society, not truly giving a fuck. These conversations about men's health, this isn't a movie. And I mean, I'm not touched by the cinematic experience. I'm touched by my own life, my own lessons. And that what I truly understand to this masculine core is that there's no other way. You know, the boy in me sheds the tear, the divine feminine that feels, that regrets, that hurts, that cries for those losses. The man knows that this is life. This is the world of masculine. Suck it up. Don't cry. There's no room for it. It's not toxic masculinity. It is the world of masculine. No different than that queen early on that understood Leonidas had to have the shit smacked out of him by his dad, because one day he's going to have to go against an army of millions with 300 men. And whoever would cower away, the little boy that would run away, it's what's required, and it's some real shit. This scene for me underlines, this principle, this distinction of sacrifice and losses. There's an honor and respect deserved to men and masculinity. There's so much emphasis on how wrong, how inappropriate, how everything that's made wrong and misunderstood about masculinity. It's why I do what I do, because truth be told, put some fucking respect on it. Society would not be what it is today. The modern world would not be what it is today. Life would not be what it is today without the sacrifice for all of humanity, all of generations. As wrong, as misguided, war, bloodshed, whatever the case may be, on the backs of human beings. Little boys to young men to grown-ass men have sacrificed, bled, died, and even in these modern times to this very day, we still take on sacrifice and losses that no one truly feels and understands but us. And we have none or limited spaces to voice that shit, to vent that shit, to heal from that shit, or even cope with it. The misunderstanding, the disrespect, the dishonor of all that we sacrifice and all that we take on behalf of a feminine world that does not honor what we do, that does not honor what it takes to truly be made from nothing. No man who's accomplished anything, no man who is great, no man who has done anything truly for himself in his name and his legacy was given anything, handed anything. He has sacrificed, he has lost along the way, and nobody even knows, because it is not in masculine to go look for the handout, to seek the comfort, because there is no comfort coming. Not to say that it's right, not to say that it's the way that it should be, but damn it if it doesn't touch me to know and understand that shit. The rage that's there, that captain's bloodlust. And I say this to my own lessons when my partner has given me the truth of what is life behind my lead. When I look at my childhood fears and traumas of being alone, and I'm raising daughters that I haven't found a way to bond and connect with. This is past lessons I've grown from. But the cold, harsh reality of how masculine has to grow, develop, evolve, become better. That's what that bloodlust is because there is an innate that until you grow and experience and feel that shit, as a grown-ass man, then you can relate, then you can understand, then you can put some honor and respect on the shit, because that's what calls us forward. Other great movies, Braveheart, when it comes to what you're going to put your life on the line for, the catalyst to masculine being activated is answering the question, who am I? And when your character is challenged, when your values are challenged, when your beliefs are challenged, that's the time that masculine steps up. That's the time that masculine is activated. That's the time that masculine learns the lessons that makes the greatness. And sometimes that shit is not happy. It does not feel good. And it's not easy. I just got to give the moment of silence to give respect on behalf of, you want to honor men's health when it's too late. Appreciate, understand, and respect what we go through simply because we were born with chromosomes, a penis, determined as a man, in a society that now wants to take away even the distinction of that, man, woman, depending on how you feel. Fuck that. You cannot be a man until you live, walk, breathe, and die as a fucking man. I don't give a fuck what's politically correct. It's truth. Let's go to the next.